It's Friday, and that means it's time for RPG Rundown's weekly news video. In most fantasy, dragon eats you. In new Kickstarter, you eat dragon. Yakov Smirnov would be delighted by the reversal offered in Gummiquest, a Kickstarter for producing gummy treats sculpted like fantasy miniatures. I have to admit, this sounded silly to me at first, but those designs look amazing. It's pretty tantalizing to take a bite out of death before it comes to take a bite out of you, and also, it's just a beautiful sculpt. A group of celebrities, including Jonathan Frakes and Will Wheaton, will be live streaming an actual play D&D session. They held an auction on Charity Buzz for one spot to play along with them. The auction is closed, but you'll be able to watch the live stream on April 20th. The effort is led by Todd Stashwick, who plays Captain Liam Shaw in Star Trek Picard, and the auction proceeds go to the Pavlov Foundation, who invest in pediatric cancer research. With this many Star Trek actors in the cast, I wonder why they aren't playing the Modifius Trek RPG instead, bringing together their iconic characters for an adventure together. On the other hand, that might tempt Frakes to bust out his trombone, and I think we're collectively done with that. In January of next year, Dimension 20 will do an actual play live event at Madison Square Garden. The show will be called Gauntlet at the Garden, which sounds like the name of a prize fight event, but it's really just nerds like us rolling dice and playing make-believe, which these days, for some reason, people like to watch like a spectator sport. This adventure will take place in Dimension 20's Unsleeping City campaign setting, in which modern-day New Yorkers discover a secret magical realm within the city with fantastical residents, perilous traps, wondrous beasts, mind-bending adventures, and otherworldly experiences. So basically, it's a lot like Times Square in the 70s. The publishers of Delta Green are now working on a tabletop RPG based on the famous Black Company novels. The game will have a brand new, unique rule system and will be playtested by Patreon members. In the novels, the Black Company is a band of roguelike mercenaries who fight for whoever has the most coin. This will, of course, give players a chance to experience a totally innovative and new style of gaming, which isn't about heroism, but amoral, looting, and advancement. Obviously, that change of pace will be quite refreshing. Magnetic Press Play will be releasing a Planet of the Apes RPG based on the original 5 movies. You'll be able to play as a human or ape, and although they say the game will be compatible with all Magnetic Press Play's West End Games D6 products, they also state that it will challenge every idea you have ever had about a role-playing game. That's a pretty bold claim because tabletop RPG nerds have had uncountable ideas about role-playing games over the years, having played everything from super crunchy to no rules to games that resolve conflict using Jenga blocks. Also, given that this is based on all 5 of the original films, maybe the innovation is that the campaigns start off with a startling, amazing revelation and then dwindle into increasingly dumber stories. Honestly, I love Planet of the Apes and I'd still keep playing, just like I bought every one of those movies on VHS back in the 90s. Cubicle 7 has launched a Kickstarter for The Laundry Files, the second edition of a game of cosmic horror that combines paranormal and occult investigation with covert governmental agencies. Maybe kind of like X-Files meets Cthulhu? Remember, the tentacle is out there. And finally, Matt Mercer's Daggerheart game, currently in open playtesting, got a big update this week when version 1.3 was released. Most of the changes seem to streamline the rules to cut down on both bookkeeping and crunch. There are enough tweaks that they've taken down the Quick Start adventure until they can update it to be consistent with the changes. The most notable change seems to be that stress and damage have been decoupled. You no longer get increased stress based on a damage threshold. Based on the massive decline in viewing numbers for Critical Role, Mercer himself will probably benefit from separating stress from having physical effects. I'm Dave, and this has been the Weekly RPG News.